Hi guys, so the bow that we're going to make today is a bit of an experiment. It's mostly the kind of bow that you would make by hand. You don't use the bow dabber, but I want to show you how you can use the bow dabber without having to do a lot of sewing or whatever else that you might consider doing with one of these kind of bows. So you saw the picture of it there, so it has a few different layers. So we're going to start obviously with our bow dabber. You're going to need some of the bow wire. And again, you can use embroidery floss if you don't have any bow wire, that's fine. You're going to need a hair clip, and I use those little alligator clips from Sally's. And then you're going to need several different ribbons. And why didn't I not bring that one? Okay. Well, this is a 1.5 inch ribbon, and this is for the spikes. At the very base of the bow, we have some spikes. So this is a 1.5 inch ribbon I got at Hobby Lobby, and obviously it just has little dots on it. It's white grosgrain. So it's a 5 inch piece of that. I have two 5 inch pieces of this boutique ribbon, also from Hobby Lobby. And it is 5/8 of an inch in electric. It says Rosa Elec. So I guess it's just like a bright pink. Okay. We have two of those at 5 inches also. So all the spikes are going to be 5 inches. And then I have some dotted grosgrain. It's white with purple dots. And it came from this pack here from Recollections from Michaels. And again, this one I believe is about 1/2 inch. I would prefer to use another 5/8 inch one, but this is what I found that coordinated, so that's what I'm using. So these are again 5 inches, two of them, and they are about 1/2 inch ribbons. Those are for the spikes. For the we are going to surround the bow, what they call a surrounded bow. You're going to need two pieces of 10 inches of a ribbon. This is, 3/8 of an inch ribbon. And there's 10 inches, there's two of them. And it also, well, no, it came from American Crafts, a pack that I have of ribbon here from American Crafts. And again, it's about 3/8 inch ribbon. Two 10 inch pieces for the surrounding the bow. And then for the very middle bow, you're going to need some whatever colors that you want to use, obviously. This is white grosgrain. It's 5/8 inch ribbon. I already made the bow because there's other tutorials on how to make this bow and just to save some time, but it's really easy. It's just the kind of bow where all you're going to do, let's say this is our bow. I'll just quickly kind of walk you through it. If you were to make this ribbon, again, that's 5/8 inch ribbon and it's 1.5 feet, so 18 inches of ribbon, okay? What you do is bring this corner down. If this was the same kind of ribbon, obviously this is not. You're gonna bring this one down, and then you're gonna come over and bring the long end and make another little loop. I'm really good at making the small ones, like this size. I'm not so good at making them larger. I don't know why, like this one doesn't look quite right to me, but that's what happened, so. And then you're gonna take that end and you're gonna tuck it behind itself. Already these are too big, but you're gonna tuck it behind itself over that little corner that you had sticking out, and then bring that last piece over, okay? Obviously this is not very good, but that's just the gist of it, okay? So again, I'll do it really quickly. I should have just done it for you guys. You're gonna make your loop, and then you're gonna bring out another loop, and you're kind of bending this loop in a way so that it twists. You see there's like a twist in it? So it's not just straight across, you're kind of maneuvering it a little bit down. You're gonna bring under itself, in between that little end that's sticking out and the loop you just made, and then back over. And it should be long enough to go all the way to the edge there. And then after that, you're just going to scrunch it. So you go up, down, up, and you sew it, and then you have your little bow. Okay? There's lots of tutorials on this. It's a basic boutique bow, so there it is. So let's grab what we need here, and we will get started. There is going to be another two pieces of 4 inch 3/8 of an inch ribbon. You're gonna need two 4 inch pieces to cover your clip and to go around your whole bow. Okay, so let's get started. So to get started, I have my spikes. I'm gonna show you how I made them into spikes. But what we're gonna do is take our bow dabber, and again, I always face it this way. I don't know why, that side that has some give, I face it towards me. As you can see, you can pull this one. And we're just gonna put about 12 inches of our bow dabber wire folded in half. And we're just gonna place it right in there and put this to the side so it's ready for our spikes when we get there. I'm gonna put that to the side for now. So I have our 5 inch spikes here, and all I did was dovetail them. So I'll just show you quickly how I did that. So you're gonna take your ribbon, just fold it in half, and you can even stack them 2 at a time or 4 at a time if you're good. Just give it a fold, and you're just going to cut into it with your fabric scissors to make nice crisp cuts. And then now you have a dovetail. Okay, so I'll show you that again. We're just gonna fold it in half, and you can even fold it in half this way first, and then fold it in half together so you can cut them all at the same time, and they'd all have about the same angle, but I just kind of eyeball it. And you can make them as sharp or as shallow as you like. And then I'm going to take my lighter, and I just have this King Light or whatever. You can get them at the dollar store or, you know, Walmart, different areas, all different stores carry them, and just heat seal the very edges so that they don't fray, okay? And this one, I kind of do it kind of quickly because I don't want it to take away that shape of the spike. So let's get started. So I already have all 5 of them, and they're all 5 inches long, like we talked about. And you can just start layering it. So I have that white one, and I'm gonna layer, actually, yeah, I'm gonna do the white one, then I'm gonna layer the pink one over that. Kind of eyeballing what a center point might be. And then I'm gonna take the white and purple one again, just trying to keep it layered up. And you're kind of meeting the corners or the tips of your spikes together there, okay? So then you can kind of adjust it to make it look right. And then we're gonna take the big guy and put it right in the middle, right on top of these guys, and it kind of joins up, as you can see. And then this is where you can make some adjustments. Sorry, I have my glue gun right here and I just touched my pinky to it. Oh Lord, that was not good. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of adjust it so that it looks a little bit nicer. This one come down a little bit. Okay, and like I said, we're using our Bodabra for this, so if you were not going to use Bodabra, what you can do is go ahead and pick them up, and you're holding it down because you don't want them to shift too much, right? You're going to hold it down, and if you're not using Bodabra, what you do is just take some, a needle with some thread on it, and what we're going to do is scrunch it up, and then you would sew it. But since I'm going to use the Bodabra, I'm just going to push it right down into the Bodabra next. So what we're going to do, again, if you had a needle, you would just pick it up and go through it after we scrunch it. So let's do this. So we're going to start folding this down, and then the middle part is going to come up. I'm kind of pushing up with my fingernail here to hold it up. Okay, so that first part is kind of facing down, and then up and down again. I know it gets a little bit messy, and you can kind of arrange it a little better if you like. So again, this is where you would be. If you had a needle and thread, you'd push it through there and then tie it around so that it all stays together. But I'm gonna bring my Bodabra over, and being very careful not to mess with this too much. I'm still gonna pinch it, I'm still holding it. I'm gonna push this right down into the Bodabra. And it's kind of thick, so it might take some doing. And now this is where you're gonna arrange it, because you can see they got kind of wonky, okay? So what I'm gonna do is kind of fix these back the way they should be. The pink was kind of up. The purple and white dot should be next. And then keep the size about right so that they're about 2.5 inches on either side, okay? Of your spikes. That's a little better, a little more decent. Somewhere right in there. And I'm just kind of arranging them so that they look a little nicer. Okay? So there's that. And if you need to arrange these better, do whatever you want, but do those arrangements now, okay? So I'm just gonna kind of keep messing with this so that they're about the same. I'm gonna put this to the side for now. And of course you can still do more arranging later. We don't have to get it all perfect right now. So we're gonna bring over our 2 10-inch strips. They're gonna do that little surrounder bow for us. And all you're gonna do is, you can mark it, but I'm not going to. And since there is a pattern on the one side, I'm gonna put that side facing down. And then I've already heat sealed the edges, okay? So we're folding it right in half, so that's about 5 inches. And what you're gonna do is bring one end over, and I like to do it this way so it's facing me, but however is easiest for you. As you can see, you kind of cross it over like that awareness ribbon, but not quite. So I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue here, and I'm putting a little bit of hot glue. So bring this guy over and butt it up right to where you made that center mark and to the edge of the ribbon, and that's it. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other side, and you're going to do the same thing for the other 10-inch piece of ribbon. You're just going to do that, bring this guy around, and give it a twist so that it wants to face down into there. And there it is. And basically the point of this is that it's going to surround your little bow. Okay, so again, this bow is made with 1.5 feet of 5/8 inch ribbon, because it's going to end up making a bow that's about a little bit smaller than 4 inches, but it's about a 4-inch bow, okay? So even if you did a butterfly bow, whatever bow you want to make it sure that's about a 4-inch bow, and then you can still do the exact same thing. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other 10-inch piece of ribbon. Here they both are. We're going to bring our Bodabra back over, and what we're gonna do with these guys is just push them into the center, okay? So, you know, you just put these together with hot glue, so you gotta be a little bit careful, but what I'm gonna do is bring this guy in here and push it down in there, okay? We'll arrange it in a second. Well, I guess what you want to kind of do is kind of give it a scrunch, that make it flatter. Kind of scrunch it up right in that middle area, okay? And we're gonna separate these two guys. And do the same thing for the other one. We're gonna kind of scrunch it. If you did not have the bow dabber, what you would do is just go ahead and add these to the back of your bow already. You would just glue them down. So I'm kind of arranging this a little bit better to make it a little bit flatter. And now that's it. So what we're gonna do is bring over our 4-inch bow, however you like to put it down there, and we're just gonna squeeze him right down in there and make sure that these other little surrounded bows are kind of where they should be. And you can do this arranging afterwards, but I just kind of want to show you a little bit while we're here. It's going to go around the bow like that, but obviously it's going to look nice when we're done. So I'm going to do real quick is squeeze this down. And I'm just going to put this to the side for a second. I'm not going to take it off of here yet, okay? So what we're going to do is bring our clip over. And these are the two 4-inch pieces that I said you needed, a 3/8 inch ribbon. And we're just going to, and they're already been heat sealed on the edges. So I'm going to put a little hot glue. Put the very end of that on there. It covers about that last little bit there. Sorry, maybe I can bring it a little bit closer. And then we're going to come around the top. And I like to put the glue on here. I'm just very careful not to get it on the other clip, the other side of the clip. And we're just going to bring it up. Straight around. And then some people, if you want to prepare a whole bunch of white, like clips that are covered in white ribbon, that would work too. It would coordinate just fine. Or black ribbons, just have them ready. I usually have some that are white, black, and brown. That way I always have a coordinating color, but I like to, since I had this, I figured I might as well just make it the same color as the little knot I'm going to put on my bow. And that's it. Okay, so now you have your covered ribbon, or covered clip. And so this guy, all I'm going to do is take it and put a knot in it. And you can do this afterwards, like as you're actually adhering it to your bow, but I like to do it before. It gives me a chance to kind of work with it. And of course you want the little white dots to be showing. And this is going to cover our center area of the bow. Okay, so there's a little knot there. I'm going to put that to the side for now. Bring our bow back over, take this off. Bring up our bow dabber wires. I'm going to back up just a second so you can see a little better. And you're just going to bring up the wire. Those two ends can go through the loop and pull it straight up. Straight up. Okay? And then you're going to give it a tug on either side. Try to do this nice and straight as you can because you want it to come out nice and straight. And if there's any adjustments you want to do before you really, really tighten it up, you would go ahead and do those adjustments to your spikes or whatever. But I think it'll be fine for now. That looks pretty good. So all I'm going to do is turn this guy over and bring the two ends to the back and give it a final knot. You can knot it once or twice, and as you're in the back you can kind of see what you're doing better and give it some more, you know, your final adjustments. This is fun for if you're making a bow for yourself or for your daughter, should I say, or whoever, to give away one at a time. If you're trying to make them to sell them, they're not going to come out all the same. A lot of times what you want to go for is uniformity, right, when you're making bows. And if you use this, they're always going to be different. So I wouldn't recommend it for like mass sale or wholesale of bows, but you know, do whatever you like, obviously. And I think that's good. Okay, so I'm just going to tie it one more time. And I'm going to cut off these ends with scissors that are not my fabric scissors. Oops, I'm dropping things over here. There we go. And so now all I'm going to do is place a little dab of glue on the back here. I'm going to take the end of my little knotted half, just either end, doesn't matter. Put it down right there. And as I kind of eyeball it, bringing it forward, it needs a little bit of adjustment. You want to put it nice and tight just all around. So I'm going to bring it down and around here, around the front. Adjust that. And adhere the rest of it. And I always do 4 inches just to give me some room, but a lot of times I end up needing less. But this is, like I said, was 4 inches. You can cut off this last little piece. And you can heat seal it very carefully if you want again, or just leave it because it's going to be glued onto your clip anyway, but I'll just give it a quick heat seal. And there's your bow. Of course, you're going to have a lot of adjustments to make to it. And I usually do them after I add it to my clip. So here's my little clip. Just going to bring it over. Put your glue all across the clip. And just add it to your bow. pressing down and holding it so that it really adheres. And when it's all dry, you're good to go. So it's just like a stacked bow, a little bit made a little bit easier because it was made on the Bodabra. But of course, you do have some, adjustment to do. And hope you guys like this tutorial and the bow, and I'll have pictures for you guys. See you at the next one. Bye now.